Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new writing vlog. So in the last writing vlog, which by the way I'll link all my writing vlogs for this year down below, but in the last writing vlog I was like, ooh, I'm finally finding my flow with writing, finding my flow with these vlogs, and I'm so happy. I jinxed myself just a little bit. So it's now the end of June. It's June 28th. It was my goal to completely finish draft 4 of What You Mean to Me this month, and I only just started it yesterday. Some of that is my fault, some of it is not. I was still waiting on one beta reader to finish reading the previous draft so that I could, incorporate all of her feedback, so that was not my fault. But June was just a very overwhelming month. I had a lot of things going on. I low-key got sick again. I still don't fully know what happened because I never fully got sick the way that I normally do, but I still was just not doing anything during that time, and then I've just been going through a lot that I don't want to talk about. But yeah, so just a lot of things out of my control this month, and I'm trying to be gentle with myself because I know that the things that happened this month were completely out of my control and I deserved to take a bit of a step back to deal with these things. So it's fine. It's fine. I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little upset because I really wanted to finish this draft this month. I know everything has to kind of be shifted that I wanted to do this year, so it is what it is. Things happen. Life happens. You cannot predict life. I'm still not done the chapter by chapter breakdown for the rest of the book, mainly because there's one thing that I wanted to discuss with my final beta reader, a note that she left, and I know she responded to me, I just haven't looked at it yet, and that thing directly affects the rest of the book, so I didn't want to do the chapter breakdown if I didn't know exactly what I was going to need to do in these chapters, so I just kind of stopped, and then I decided to just jump into the draft yesterday. So last month I did Act 1, which was chapters 1 through 12, so I started at chapter 13 yesterday, and I did chapters 13 through 16, so I did 4 chapters yesterday, marked them off in my bullet journal and my revision tracker, which again I'm sad that I didn't get to utilize as much as I wanted to. The same thing happened last month. I also wanted to do more last month but had to resolve to just doing the first act because that's all I had completed notes for. But yeah, I did the first 4 chapters yesterday and I'm happy with that, but I did stop because it was getting kind of late and I wanted to watch a movie and just kind of relax a little bit. But I do plan on jumping back into it today. Chapter 17 is not too intensive. Chapter 18 is also fine. Chapter 19 is where I have more notes, and that one could be a little bit tougher to deal with. Just kind of more things that I need to change, which is fine, and I'm excited to do it. So I'm going to try to do as many chapters as I can today, but I do have another writing related thing that I needed to do today. So Reedsy reached out to me to offer me a spot in their July How to Write a Novel course. I don't know how many times a year they do this, maybe a few, but they have a writing course called How to Write a Novel, and it's taught by Tom Bromley, who I believe is a really established writer. I think he did a lot of ghostwriting as well, and I know he does a lot of things with Reedsy. He teaches this 101-day course to help you write your novel. Kind of goal of it is to have a completed draft by the end of the 101 days, which I believe breaks down to 5,000 words a week to get a 75,000 word novel. Yeah, basically there are daily video lessons that are basically masterclasses taught by Tom Bromley. They go into things like how to start your novel, voice in your novel, characters, plot skills, description, dialogues. Each week kind of focuses on different things, but there's also prep sessions before the course actually starts, and the course starts on July 1st, so I have a few days to go through all these prep sessions, basically go over the pitch, protagonist, plotting, point of view, and place of your novel to basically help you before you actually start working on your novel. So I thought that this would be a really fun opportunity for me, and I'm really excited about it. However, I'm not going to be actually trying to draft a novel with this course. That's just not where I'm at currently in my writing process. I do really need to focus on these novel revisions. However, I will be trying to plan out a novel. I don't know which one I'm gonna do yet. I have 3 to choose from. There's one that I'm kind of leaning towards a bit more, but I'm gonna try to start doing these prep sessions today. I don't expect to get through them all, but I'm gonna start those today, and I'm gonna try to figure out what novel I want to officially work on. But I will be having vlogs for this course coming out for the next few months as I take the course, but I just kind of wanted to mention mention that I am doing it. So if you decide that you want to take Reedsy's How to Write a Novel course, I do have an affiliate link down below that you guys can check out. I would really appreciate it if you do decide to take this course using that link, because it's going to really help me out. I do earn a commission for every successful referral through that link. So that would really help me and my channel out. So if this course is something that you're interested in, then I would appreciate you guys using that link. But I will be continuously talking about this course over the next few months, letting you guys know what I think about it, if it's truly worth it. But I'm really excited to get started, so I will be doing that today as well. But my main goal is to work on these novel revisions, so I think I will start with that. Okay, so I've finished 2 chapters now, chapters 17 and 18. Chapter 19 is a bit more of an intensive chapter. Like, I think I forgot just how kind of intensive it is. I'm basically reworking the entire scene, and that just feels like a little bit too much brain power for this current moment. So I might try to work on it a little bit later, and I think I might change gears and start working on that Reedsy course a little bit, and then I'll see if I can come back to this tonight when hopefully I'm a little bit more refreshed after dinner or something. But I'm excited to start working on that Reedsy course, so that is what I'm going to do instead. But I'm happy with what I've done so far, and I'm happy to say we've hit 70,000 words. We're actually almost at 71,000 words, which is really exciting. So we're gonna see how long that lasts, especially with me adjusting this next chapter and this next scene. That might fluctuate a little bit. Okay, so it's now Sunday. I honestly just haven't felt like updating the vlog, but I have been writing. So I just finished chapter 19 a little bit ago. I started working on it last night, but it was a doozy, because I was basically completely changing the circumstances of how that scene was playing out, like completely changing the role of the characters in that scene. And it was taking a minute to come together and for me to find a flow within the new scene. I was also having trouble focusing. I kept getting distracted, singing along to my music, going on Twitter, like wanting to do anything but writing. So I set myself a 15-minute timer, and I made myself finish the chapter within that 15 minutes, which I did do. And I also started chapter 20, which is a direct continuation of that scene. And in my notes, for some reason, my chapter by chapter breakdown notes I made, I did not make a note to say to adjust the beginning of chapter 20 to match the changes I was making in chapter 19. So I just added a little sticky note, even though I knew that that's what I had to do. So because I changed so much about chapter 19, the whole beginning of chapter 20 kind of pointless, because it's a part that now happens way earlier in chapter 19. So it's taken some adjustments, but I think this chapter is going to be significantly easier than chapter 19. I just wanted to make sure that like I updated before I finished this chapter, because I realized I haven't updated this vlog in a couple of days. It's also the last day of the month. It's the 30th, and I want to try to do as many chapters as I can in WYMTM today, so that I have less to do next month, because I am going on 2 vacations in July. I'm going to Disney on Saturday, basically like a week away, and we're gonna be there for a week, and then I have a week at home. And then we're going kind of like to the Seattle area, because I'm seeing a Niall Horan concert for my birthday. So there's 2 weeks out of this month that I'm not going to be here, that I'm not going to be working on any writing. So I'm trying to get as much done as possible. I'm not overwhelmed at all. It's totally fine. So looking at my notes, I think I can actually get to maybe the mid-20s, like chapter 24, chapter 25. There are a couple of like flashback scenes I have to include, but I've already drafted them, so I just need to like pick and choose what parts of it go into the chapters. I don't know, I think that I can get a lot of work done today. It is like 4 p.m, but my main goals for today are writing. So deep breath. I'm gonna get back to working on chapter 20. I've been on and off writing since I think like 3-ish today, with, you know, a few times pausing, getting distracted, eating some food, you know, talking to family, whatever. But I've been basically writing since 3 today. I did 5.5 chapters. I started from chapter 19, which I did start yesterday, so let's say I did a half chapter, and then I did 5 other chapters. I just finished chapter 24, and I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to stop a couple of chapters ago, and then I just kept going, and I almost was about to do chapter 25. I do need to work on my July spreads in my bullet journal since July starts tomorrow. But yeah, I also need to finish the Reedsy prep courses today because the course officially starts tomorrow. I'm just a very stressed out, overwhelmed person right now. It's literally 10:52. This is stupid. Like, I should be in bed relaxing, but here we are. I'm really happy with the work that I did today. I feel like I did improve the chapters that I did, which is the point of revisions. Hopefully my next round of beta readers likes what I did, and I'm excited for the next couple of chapters. We've got some big flashback parts coming up in the next chapter. I also still have not finished the chapter by chapter like breakdown of these revisions because I was like waiting to talk to my one beta reader about a note that she left, and she did send me a message, and I don't think I've been in the headspace to like properly think about it and brainstorm, so I should also return to that at some point. Probably not this week. I don't think I'm going to be able to get enough revisions done to even get to that point. Maybe I will. I don't know. I really don't know what this week is going to bring. I have so many things that I need to do before our trip. I'm so stressed out, but regardless, I did a lot of work today. I'm really happy about it, but I'm going to go ahead and work on my bullet journal for the rest of the night. Okay, so it's now Monday. It's Canada Day, July 1st. Here we are. I did 4 chapters today. I was potentially going to do a 5th chapter, but I'm actually heading out to a friend's house in an hour and a half. We're having a cute little like tea party, and I have a lot to do today. I had a late start to the day. Got my period yesterday and it hit me like a truck this morning. Plus I had to get ready for this tea party. So I did have a bit of a late start to my day, but I have a lot to get done today in general in this week. But I just did, like I said, the 4 chapters, and like I said, I was thinking of doing another chapter, but I have some time before dinner, so I thought that I would quickly do the first day of the Reedsy course. That way when I get home after the tea party, all I need to do is read, because I did not finish the June best season book club pick. I can work on my July bullet journal spreads because those are still not done. I just kind of need to color everything so that I can properly use all of my spreads. So busy day, but I'm gonna start the Reedsy course. All of the courses for the week are actually available on the first day of the week, so I could technically watch more than one today, but I think I'm just gonna watch the day 1 video. It's 12 minutes long, so I'm gonna start with that. Okay, I genuinely was not planning on like filming my face today, but it's July 2nd and I've been sat here for I think an hour and a bit, an hour and a half, I don't even know, but I've been revising. I've done 2 chapters so far and I'm working on chapter 31, and I don't know, I just kind of was filled with this feeling of just total love and admiration for this project, and just overall feeling like really proud of this book and really happy with it. I basically have been working on restructuring, I guess, the beginning of this chapter and changing it. So basically the scene right before chapter 31, so chapter 30, is like a really big emotional moment between my 2 main characters, Christopher and Maisie. And in the original scene, draft 3, Maisie kind of runs off after, you know, having this moment with Christopher, and she just kind of waits by the car for him to take her home. And I can't remember if a beta reader pointed it out, like, why is she waiting? Like, I'm surprised that she's still here, like why didn't she just leave? But it made me realize that like after a moment like that, it doesn't fully make sense for her to stay and just wait for him to take her home. Like, she's, you know, an 18-year-old girl. She can find her own way home, either, you know, taking an Uber, which is what she ends up doing, or, you know, taking transit, just finding her own alternate means of transportation. So basically I changed it to her taking an Uber home. So this whole little scene that I've been working on is her taking an Uber home instead of waiting for Chris. So this scene didn't exist at all in the original draft. It was her waiting for Christopher and then getting into the car kind of silently, her asking her to take him home, and then them just not talking. I think that this scene now has so much more weight to it, and it really, like, I I love it. I don't know, it kind of came out really good. Like, I'm really proud of it actually. It also contains another Starstruck reference, which we all know I just love doing. At any point in this book, if I've had to name like a throwaway character, like somebody that you only see once, they're not important, I've literally used the Starstruck cast list as my own personal baby name book, or like baby name site, and just trying to like take actors' names or character names. So I took a character name for the Uber driver, just, you know, throw in another little Starstruck reference. I thought that would be a lot of fun. But this scene, I don't know, I just really love the way that it shows the kind of mindset that Maisie is in right now, because this whole book, this whole time, this whole journey that they've gone on together has been completely driven by her own dreams and her bone deep desire to prove to everyone that she's making the right decisions, that she's capable of living out her dreams, that she, you know, is good enough to chase her dreams and to live the life that she wants to live. She has a lot to prove to her parents and to her boss, and that's kind of what is fueling this entire book, this entire day for her. Everything that she does is done through the lens of, is this going to prove to people that I am doing what I need to be doing? And I just love that this scene really shows the mindset that she is in, that she is willing to, you know, kind of stray away from that in order to kind of like take care of herself and take the space, the physical and mental space that she needs away from Christopher, and to kind of just like, you know, she kind of just realizes that like she needs to not do this anymore. And I just love that her taking the initiative in this scene to get that space from Christopher and to leave on her own is kind of showing the headspace that she's in. I don't know what I'm saying right now, and I just really like the way this scene turned out. There's another line that I feel like is a good callback to a similar, not a similar line, but like it gives me the same kind of vibe from the very beginning of the book. Like, I'm pretty sure it's on page 1. There's just a comment that her boss makes about Christopher and his kind of stardom and his like kind of presence in pop culture in the world. And there's another comment that her Uber driver makes that's just another kind of reference to how big Christopher is and how he's kind of like inescapable for her, and kind of her feelings about that. It's just like little moments like this that I'm just obsessed with. And I don't know, I felt like updating and talking about how happy I am. I feel like a lot of revisions, a lot of the time, I'm kind of stuck between like either being proud of it or hating it, or being in like this weird space where like I can't tell if the changes that I'm making are making it better or worse. Normally that specific stage happens like in the earlier stages of revisions, the earlier drafts, where you're like making changes for the first time. I am very solidly in the camp of like everything I'm currently doing is making the book better, and that's a really reassuring feeling. Like, I know that this scene makes this way stronger than it was previously, and I think I'm just feeling really happy about that. And it's not often that I feel confident, it's not often that I feel like good in the work that I am doing, but I'm feeling good right now about the work that I've been doing recently for this entire draft, and right now specifically with this chapter and this scene. And I'm just like, I want to bask in this a little bit, because I feel like I do document a lot of the not great feelings, because that is often how I feel. But it's nice to, you know, let you guys know, and also to remind myself for when I do, you know, end up watching this vlog again in the future, that there are good moments, and that this is, you know, why I do what I do. You know, it's for these moments where like it all clicks and it all works, and I remind myself that I love writing, because a lot of the times it's like an uphill battle where I'm like, do I even enjoy doing this? And, you know, with all of the shitty things that come with writing and wanting to pursue publication, there's a lot of moments of doubting whether it's what you actually want to do. Like, do you like it enough? Do you enjoy it enough? Is it worth it? And it's moments like these that remind me that yes, it is worth it. I love writing, and I don't know, I don't know, I'm feeling very like emotional and scattered, and I'm on my period, and that could probably be why. But like, I love this book. I am proud of this book. It's a silly little story, you know, that is just completely inspired by my love of the Disney Channel movie Starstruck, and inspired by my love of music and concerts. And it's truly just a lot of things that I love in books. There's a lot of yearning, it's a second chance romance, there's drama, and there are some funny moments. I find it very hard to be funny on purpose when writing, because I find a lot of my humor in real life just comes organically, and I don't know how to replicate that in writing. But there are some funny moments in this book, and I just just love it. I love it so much, and I do feel like it's taken a while to get to this place, and I'm just really happy that I'm finally here. And so I'm feeling motivated, I'm feeling excited. I want to get this draft done so that I can send it to another round of beta readers, so that, you know, I can kind of get the ball rolling and get closer and closer to that kind of like final version of the book. I'm just really happy with it. Okay, so it's now July 16th. I don't fully remember what my last clip was. I think I was talking about like how much I love this project and the inspiration that I was feeling, but I don't remember like the actual like last writing update I gave you, like progress report kind of vibe, but I've done quite a bit. I did just get back from my vacation a couple of days ago. We're actually leaving again next week to go somewhere else. So this month has just been very crazy, very busy, but I'm home for a few more days. So I'm trying to get as much work done as humanly possible. We are leaving on Sunday. It's currently Tuesday. So yesterday I finally finished the chapter breakdown for the rest of the book. I had a handful of chapters left to figure out, and so I did that. There is one thing that one of my beta readers suggested, and I don't fully know how I want to go about doing it if I do decide to do it, and that's kind of why I stopped doing the chapter breakdown, because the chapter that I left off on is one that like would have been directly affected by this thing, and I didn't know how I wanted to go about it. And so I was trying to think about it, and I think that if I decide to go through with it, I'm just gonna wait. So I'm gonna finish this draft. I wrote notes and highlighted them to make sure that I knew the spot later in the book that this would be affected by. I'm sure there's things that would affect earlier on in the book, but because I wasn't thinking about that thing earlier on in the book in this chapter breakdown, I don't know, so I'm gonna have to like go through the book again. But I just kind of made notes to myself in certain chapters just to say like this chapter will potentially change. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get to the end of the book, and then I'm going to kind of go through and see what I feel, see what I think. I've left sticky notes for myself kind of explaining the thought process that I was feeling yesterday as I was kind of sitting there trying to figure this out, just to kind of jot down my brainstorming ideas so that I don't forget what I was thinking, because that's a thing that often happens. So we're gonna see how I feel when I get to the end of the book and decide if I want to add it in this draft or if I want to wait and see what the next round of beta readers say and then maybe add it in at that point. I'm not fully sure of what I want to do yet, but I did finish the chapter breakthrough. I'm happy with it. And then I actually revised 3 chapters I think yesterday. We are now up to chapter 40, which is really good. So we just have this many chapters left, and I'm feeling really excited to kind of get to the end of this book. The revisions actually are not that crazy going through the rest of the book. So in this next chapter that I need to do, that I'm going to work on today, I just need to kind of make it clear where everyone is during this conversation, this kind of argument that my characters are having. I need to make sure that like we know what they're doing, where they are in the scene, and I'm kind of toying around with changing the circumstances of how the scene ends and how the characters leave the situation, but it's not going to be that big of a deal or like that big of a change. And then I don't think I really have any huge changes coming up. I'm gonna try to get through as many chapters as I can today. I think I figured it out yesterday, and I have to do like 4 to 5-ish chapters a day if I want to get done by the end of this week, like before I leave for vacation again next week, which kind of would be ideal because I don't really want to bring my laptop with me on this little vacation. It's much more relaxed vacation than this last one, but it's also like kind of my birthday trip, so I also like don't really want to be bringing my laptop on my birthday trip. So we're just gonna have to see how the cookie crumbles. I'm ready to get into some work. I was kind of missing it when I was on vacation. Like on like the first or second day I was like, I'm kind of itching to do some revisions right now, but I obviously couldn't because I didn't have anything with me. So I'm excited to do some more work today. I enjoyed the 3 chapters I did yesterday. They weren't super intensive, so I'm looking forward to doing some more chapters today, and we're just going to see how many I can get done, because I do need to do more of the Reedsy course because I'm now 2 weeks behind. It's been a really overwhelming time recently, so I do need to delve into that as well. But I'm going to get into revisions now. Oh my goodness. Today has been a wild journey. It's now 1:30 in the morning. So I did a few chapters earlier before dinner. I don't know how many I did, 1 or 2 perhaps, before my parents came home and we went out for dinner. We had to go to my grandmother's house to clear out some of her stuff. I don't know if I mentioned this, but my grandma had to move into a home recently, so we've had to go through all of her stuff. It's been very overwhelming, but I had to do that. And so I kind of had less time to write during the day as I thought I was going to have. I started writing again about 9 p.m. and I left off reworking a scene, I decided to add an extra part to a conversation that Christopher was having with his mother. So I was like drafting that, and like I was in the middle of it before we left to go for dinner. So I finished that when I came home, integrated it properly into the chapter, because I always draft extra things in a different document when I'm revising, just so it doesn't get messy or anything. And then I continued working, and I don't know at what point I got to when I realized that I wanted to try something. So I think I maybe got to a chapter that would have been affected by the note that my beta reader left that I was talking about earlier, and I decided that I kind of wanted to implement this idea that I had. I still might go through, like I said, and try to implement this idea that my friend had, but I really wanted to try my idea and see how it works with the next round of beta readers. I could always go back, you know, I have the original, you know, scene in draft 3, whatever, however it was before I made these changes, so I could always revert it back if my beta readers don't like it, if it doesn't land for them. But then at some point after that, I realized I didn't love the order that the next chapters were in, and I wanted to see if I could play around with moving them and changing them. I think the book is so much stronger now just by switching around these couple of chapters, by changing the circumstances of one thing. I'm just like really happy with it, but I wanted to make sure that I had everything organized, because I was doing this again in another document, all the switching around of things, because I didn't want to mess up the official draft, and I really wanted to make sure that I had everything organized and figured out and like was following my train of thought, because we all know that if I waited until tomorrow, like if I stopped in the middle of it and I came back to tomorrow, I wouldn't know what the hell I was thinking, and I would have lost that like flow and momentum that I had found. So I just sat there and I was working for so long. Like I said, it's literally 1:30 in the morning now. I don't remember what chapter I left off on. It was like chapter 40 or 41. I just finished chapter 48. But this book is now at 77,533 words. This book was just at 60 something thousand words, like 69,000 words. So I've like nearly added 10,000 words into this draft, and I have no idea how I did that. I think rereading this draft is going to be so interesting to see how different it is to the previous draft. It's going to be so interesting. I'm going to see what beta readers think of it, but I'm so nervous. I feel like I've really like found my groove with this book, and I really do feel like I'm making it stronger and better, and I'm just really excited about it. So because I did so many chapters today, because all of that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chapters just in that like rearranging portion and like all of that, I think I might have done like 7 or 8 chapters today. I honestly have no idea. So I'm like way ahead of that schedule that I made for myself, and I'm feeling it. Like I'm really exhausted. So we're gonna see how much I can get done tomorrow. I didn't end up doing like literally anything else that I needed to do today. I didn't read. I didn't do any of the Reedsy stuff, so I'm gonna have to do catch up with that at some point. So maybe I'll do fewer chapters tomorrow in WYMTM so I can focus on other things. I also do need to film a video tomorrow, and I also have somebody picking something up from Facebook Marketplace that I'm selling. So it's gonna be a busy day tomorrow, but wow, I am so tired. So I'm gonna go reward myself by watching some TV, eating a snack, because I'm exhausted. Okay, so it's now the next day and it's 7:30 p.m. I actually think I'm gonna end the vlog here because I think I have way too much footage for this vlog, and we're nearing the end of this draft. So I feel like it's good to just end the vlog here, and then we'll have one more vlog of me doing the revisions on this book, and I'm so excited about it. So I've done a few chapters today. I actually don't even know how many I've done. I keep losing track, but I've done a few chapters today, and I'm quite happy with that. I also did some of my Reedsy course, so we're catching up. We're getting back into the swing of things. I haven't had like too much intensive work today in terms of like the chapters that I was doing in the draft. I do think one of them I had to like reframe a little bit. It was like a confrontational scene between one of my main characters, Christopher, and the bandmates from his band that he used to be in, who were also his best friends. It's kind of like their first real like confrontation. Things are happening, and I just had to kind of adjust that scene a little bit and adjust their conversations. But we are now at 77,673 words. I don't know how many we were at yesterday. Probably in the same ballpark area. But I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. If you did enjoy this vlog, please do give it a thumbs up. Comment down below and let me know what you've been up to rating wise recently. I'd really love to know. Subscribe if you have not yet already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!